Hey guys, so originally I started this video by showing you Rocket Man and kind of giving a little background on it, the song that is embedded in the Schoology link, and then I showed you the video of Elton John talking about the inspiration for the song, and then YouTube yelled at me and banned my videos for copyright infringement. I didn't think it was if I showed that it was a YouTube video and not mine. Um, but it did. So, anyway, watch those videos separately, and then I'm about to swing back to my other video where I'm discussing them and finish. Okay, so go watch those if you haven't. Okay, so that's pretty neat if you know who Elton John is. He's huge, his music is huge. So it's really cool to see that that was inspired by this story. So a few things about Ray Bradbury that I think are just good to know. You need to know a little bit about your authors before you really read works by them to kind of get a feel for who they are. I think that's especially true about Edgar Allan Poe, right? We know a little bit. It makes sense, I guess, that he writes really creepy, bad, sad stories and poems when you heard his background. I mean, it was rough. Okay, so fun facts about Bradbury. Doesn't he just look like a fun guy? I would just love to be friends with him. Some really cool things here. 10 things you should know about Ray Bradbury. Number one, he scored his first writing gig when he was still a teen. Okay, he was 14. It was on a radio show. Okay, number two, it took him 22 years to ask a girl out. She was a bookstore clerk named Maggie, who thought he was stealing a book because he had a long trench coat on, but then turned out he just liked her. I'm sure he was being awkward too. And then they went out for coffee, and then they got married. Not the same day, of course, but sometime after that. She was the only girl he ever dated. She had a full-time job while he stayed at home and wrote, which was virtually unheard of in the 1940s. Okay, men worked, women stayed at home. It was crazy that that had happened. Okay, we're going to skip that one. Okay, he had an aversion to cars. This is super interesting. So not only did he never get a driver's license, he did not believe cars were good for anyone. He saw a very serious accident when he was 16. 6 people died in this accident. He was walking home holding on to walls and trees. It says it took me months to begin to function again, so I don't drive. So this just scarred him for life, like made him never want to drive a car, have anyone drive cars. He thinks they're way too dangerous. Cars kill more than wars do. I mean, that is statistically true, but he never liked them. He wrote Fahrenheit 451 in just over a week, which is his most famous book. He didn't attend college when he wrote it. He wrote it at UCLA, but he wasn't a student there. I believe in libraries because most students don't have any money. This is a popular opinion that's kind of coming back around that people call it YouTube University because basically it's a known thing that in college classes, if you're not getting the help you need, you end up Googling the answers anyway and kind of Googling your way through and teaching yourself through college, especially in online courses, which I feel like some of this probably translates to that, except your professors do not make daily videos and they're not really available for help either. You just kind of have to teach yourself if you don't understand something. So I think this year will actually help prepare you for college life if you plan to go, because a lot of this stuff you're just going to have to Google and become resourceful and just discipline that if you want to learn it and you don't want all your money to go to waste that you already spent, then you need to figure out a way. Even if you're not getting help, you have to self-advocate and go out and get some help. Okay. He loathed computers. So first we find out cars, now computers, which is interesting because the more you get to know about Ray Bradbury, the more you'll see he pretty much only wrote futuristic sci-fi pieces of literature. So it's this great irony about him that he actually was terrified / hated these things when that's what he wrote about. But we're going to read the story and see how that comes across in his writing and maybe try to figure out why that is. So he was not happy about Bill Gates, is what it's saying. Computers were nothing more than typewriters. He didn't need another one of those. The internet was old-fashioned. They type a question you type an answer back. That's 30 years ago. Why not do it on the telephone, which is immediate, or the TV, which is immediate? Why are they so excited with something that is so backward? Oh boy, Ray Bradbury, if you could see how I'm using the internet to teach about you now. He was pals with Walt Disney. I like that one. I did some research on Walt Disney and did a project over him when I was little, and I respect him a lot. He was a hard worker. He wanted his ashes to be sent to Mars in a soup can. Again, with the obsession with space. But he said once he died, he planned to have his ashes in a Campbell's tomato soup can planted on Mars. Then he decided he wanted to have a place his fans could visit and thought he designed his own gravestone, which included the name of his books. As a final touch, a sign at his gravesite would say, "Place dandelions here." He wrote a book or a short story called Dandelion Wine. And so many people loved it, so he wanted people to place dandelions at his grave. So that's really sweet. In the end, he went with something very simple instead. It said, Ray Bradbury, author of Fahrenheit 451. So one of your questions is, what is the most famous piece of work he has written? I've told you twice now. It's Fahrenheit 451. Go see him in LA. I actually did not know this when I went to LA. Otherwise, I would have, because that would be really cool. And NASA paid a tribute to him, which is awesome since he loves space so much, or the idea of it anyway. When they landed a rover on Mars a few months after his death in 2012, they named the site that they touched down Bradbury Landing, which is, that's just incredible. So, super cool guy, some interesting things about him. So now you are going to, and these are just adaptations, meaning a lot of these are films that have been made. The Halloween Tree, The Illustrated Man, Fahrenheit 451. That one was relatively new. There's a 1966 version, but a 2018 version as well. A lot of these, Something Wicked This Way Comes was turned into a movie. Dandelion Wine was turned into a movie. So if you ever want to watch any movies of his books, I think that's always super cool. All right, now, don't look at those instructions. But on Schoology, on today's page, it is... Oh no, where is the scavenger hunt? Oh, I'm on the wrong day, that's why. Sorry, guys. Okay, we're going to go Wednesday. Today is Wednesday the 7th. Yes? Is that right? Yes. Okay. Research background info on Bradbury on an interactive Google slide and submit it here. This is the exact same thing that you did with Edgar Allan Poe the other day. So we click this, open it up, and just go ahead and type all over this bad boy. This is your copy. All right, and then you'll submit it in Schoology. All right, so all you have to do is save it. Don't share it with me. Don't share it with me because I don't want 130 of you to share it with me. When you're finished, it'll automatically save it, and I can come in here and look at submissions, and I can see which ones of you have filled it out. Okay, so go ahead, get that done, and tomorrow we will be working on some vocab. Okay, let me know if you need help.